Okay, good morning. So, an image that I continually share with a lot of people as we talk about this pandemic season that we're in, I say it seems to me this is a cultivating season. The soil of our lives has definitely been uprooted. It's almost like the foundations have been shaken and everything that we depended on isn't exactly the same anymore. And so, a cultivating image means in a sense of a planting that God is maybe has using this opportunity to plant something new in us. So the obvious question is, what's being planted in your soul these days? What are you learning about yourself, about God, about life that can make for a new harvest as it comes? There's a poem by Jack Gilbert that challenges me, and just I love the image of it. He says we are to risk delight. That does sound a little risky these days, doesn't it? To find delight. How hard that seems some days to come by. But he says these words. I just want to read part of it. It says, risking delight is an urgent call for a world aflame with division, violence, mistrust. Cultivating delight has the capacity for deep and abiding transformation, sustaining the hardship without diminishing them, but rather undergirding them with gladness and joy. Cultivating delight through all the changing seasons of life begins with experiencing God's delight in us so that we can receive, nurture, and extend such delight to the world. I wonder, in this season of my life, and this I really do wonder, so I identify with the poem. In my life right now, what might be a posture of cultivating delight? What would that mean to me? What would it mean for my family? What would it mean for my friends, for my church, for my community? So he says to risk delight. Wouldn't that be a risky thing for you to maybe practice that today, just to find something to delight in instead of maybe focusing on all that seems so challenging these days? I do a lot of what I call soul care with different individuals, have a practice of that. And I was meeting with one person yesterday. We just said, okay, what would be the top three things that I would recommend in this season? And number one, I said, just be nice to yourself. You know, we're all total novices at this pandemic stuff. We've never had any experience to draw on. And then we come along and we don't do very well some days. Maybe we're having stress in our family or the work isn't going well. We're fearful of tomorrow. Just be nice to yourself. None of us are experts at this kind of thing. And then we beat ourselves up when some days we're not maybe feeling like we have enough faith. Well, who does some days? But just be nice to yourself. And the second thing I would say is so obvious, is to have an attitude of gratitude. I remember when this pandemic first started, I usually at the end of the day stop before I go to sleep and review the day and think through how I experienced God or did not experience God. And I was very aware early on how I was continually thankful, just in unique ways that I was just healthy, that I just made it through another day. And here we all are, and months later, you have made it. You are still going on. You're still alive. You're still healthy. And so, just a gratitude. And yet, I find myself, if I'm not careful, I'm not having that same feeling. So I need to stay strong. Gratitude more than ever. And finally, just stay connected. Stay connected with God, the source of life. But also stay connected with each other. You know, the way God created us, we are created for community. It's why He gave us the church. This isolation stuff can be just as bad almost as the virus. So we need, in whatever way you can, whether it's only email or phone calls or notes, but best of all, in person to person. Every time I meet with somebody, it's a gift for me these days. Stay connected with each other. So here's your challenge for today. I invite you, I challenge you, I encourage you to risk delight and see what difference it makes.